Hey everyone, it's been about 2 weeks since I released the alpha for PhytoFiles. It's been a really good response. It's really nice getting feedback from the wider community outside of my sort of inner circle, let's say, and to really kind of sanity check the project. I wanted to release this project and make sure I wasn't spending hundreds of hours on something that no one needed. So it's really great to see. I've gotten about 120 signups so far, which is pretty amazing. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. He is meowing at the door. He doesn't like being not included. But yeah, 120 signups, which is really amazing, especially for an app that has no marketing budget or any budget to speak of. We've had a few people submit plants, which is so cool to see. We've had our first plant get voted in, which is Cousin It, which is a coastal Australian shrub. Which is a really nice shrub. Looks like Cousin It, hence the common name. Yeah, really exciting. And I guess one of the things is like a lot of features that I've already built for this platform, you can't really tell are there yet because there aren't plans voted in. Like the search function, I guess you can start using that. This is a rich text search that uses sort of fuzzy matching algorithms. So you can now search for things, and probably you can search for collections, which at the moment they're designed to look like booster packs, like collection card booster packs, which is kind of funny. So these are probably just like collections people have made. You can actually just make them here and then rename them. This is a new collection. Yeah. So a lot of this kind of all these features are reliant on there being plant data, obviously. So all of that's going to kind of slowly develop over time, and was a big reason why I released this sort of in this state where there are a few features that are still being developed. So on the topic of what's being developed, I've been working through the documentation for Atlassian's new Pragmatic Drag and Drop library. Atlassian, famous for applications like Trello. They're one of Australia's biggest tech companies. You can see here some of the things. They've recently released a new library for drag and drop, which prioritizes speed over fanciness, let's say. There's probably a better way of saying that, but it's also framework agnostic, which is fantastic for me because I hate React. It's not good for my future employability, but I work in SvelteKit, which is, I find, a lot closer to JavaScript and a lot less fussy. There's a lot less boilerplate that goes along with it. So I've been, all their examples are in React, even though it's a framework agnostic. I guess it's just industry standard to be working React. So I've been translating the examples into Svelte compatible code, or I guess, which has been really good. So I'll just show you some of the prototyping I've been doing. This is the very first prototype, so it looks very ugly, but you can see it has some animation there when you drag and drop between these columns. You can see when you drag, you have a little drag preview. That's mainly just to test that feature, but in the full app, it'll be a lot nicer. So that's just the first, the first prototype, just to like translate the React documentation into Svelte compatible code, basically. And this is the second prototype that I've done. So this is getting a lot closer to what I'm thinking about. And I've started talking about this without any context. Basically, this is going to be what is going into the projects folder. So you'll be able to create a planting mix for every project that you've got, save them on the system. And within those projects, you'll have a Kanban board. I love Kanban boards. They make a lot of sense to me. And they seem to make a lot of sense in the way I'm thinking about how you build mixes for your landscape projects. Not everyone uses mixes, and that's okay. I think this will be flexible enough to, not really think of these as mixes, but as categories or whatever you want them to be. So basically, here you can see that you got really nice column switching now. So that wasn't in the first prototype. So you can change where the columns are, and these use a really interesting animation called first, last, inverse play, which I won't get into the technicalities, but what you're seeing on screen isn't really what's happening in reality. Like, because the computer can switch the positions of these two columns so quickly, essentially the columns are switched instantly, and then the animation is played in reverse. So that's a bad explanation of it, but if you want to Google it, it's first, last, inverse play. It's kind of an interesting way of tricking human slowness into thinking something's happening, but it's really not. You've also got, obviously, you're able to move the plants around into different columns. And I've also integrated this little indicator, this little blue indicator. So basically, that just gives you a really good idea of where you're actually slotting that plant into the column. And that works for the columns themselves as well, which is pretty neat. So yeah, this is just the prototype. Next week, I'm going to look at actually putting it into the development server and adding in a bunch of other things, like for this style of Kanban, drag and drop really only exists on a desktop environment. You can't drag and drop in a mobile environment, obviously. So you need buttons to basically be like, move this to here, or move this up, or move this down. So all that kind of accessibility stuff. I've also been working through how this looks like in mobile. So I've sort of modeled these to a size that makes sense for mobiles. I tend to use the iPhone SE as like the minimum. Tends to be about the smallest iPhone around these days. So you can see that all works really well, and it snaps to each column really nicely. Yeah, so that's where I'm up to, really. This weekend, just taking this prototype and styling it a little bit more towards the style of LandArchTools. Not LandArchTools, PhytoFiles. Because at the moment it's pretty generic. But yeah, this is what I'm going for. I'm also going to have lots of kind of feedback inside here, which sort of just highlights, is this, not all your plants require the same amount of sun, or your plants require different soil types or water levels. Maybe they're not appropriate for that kind of mix. And also looking at exports, which is pretty important. I'm talking to Chris from LandKit, where I'm just aligning I'm going to have a bunch of exports, so you can export to like Vectorworks, to LandKit, to Revit, or to wherever. It should be pretty agnostic, or just to PDF, or just to plain old CSV. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's pretty exciting. I've had a lot of fun just building this off of Atlassian's tech. It's really, they provide a lot of amazing functionality there to make this a lot easier to do. So yeah, I'll see you maybe in 2 weeks. Cheers, thank you.